You won't believe this commercial was shot with just a smartphone. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I pulled up this high-end look with just my smartphone, some lighting, and a little bit of After Effects magic. So lately, I've been exploring mobile videography, and to be honest, I kind of underestimated the power and potential that comes with shooting with these devices these days. And it was until recently I got to find out that your mobile phones could look extremely good if you just applied a few hacks. And the good news is that we're going to uncover these tips in today's video. For this shoot, I made sure I had a mobile phone, which is the iPhone 13 Pro Max, a mobile phone tripod, a cardboard for my background, some portable lights to light up the products, and this one is quite funny, but I grabbed my son's projector for learning. So I'm going to be showing you guys how I use this as you follow. So this all started with an idea. I looked up for some top perfume ads for inspiration, which led me into crafting out this scene that you can see right here. So the idea was to tell a story of beauty growing from something that seemed ordinary, or should I say dead. That's why I sourced for dry branches and stems with the intention to make flowers grow from there. Amazing, right? I also wanted the product and its environment to have its reflection on a water surface. So that's what introduced this transparent container to contain the water. Then I brought all my elements together. Then firstly, I placed the cardboard to the wall to act as my background. Then I introduced the dried branches into the sets. I arranged them until I got my desired positions, and I placed my perfume product to sit on it. I filled the container with water and positioned it under the products and the branches so that I will be able to see the reflections. You see, lighting is very, very important in any form of video making. It sets the mood for any picture. I wanted a warm mood for the video, so I made sure I positioned my light in regions where my products wouldn't be so overexposed, which means that most of the lights will be coming from behind or the side of the product. This process would give me a silhouette shape, and that was the goal. But what's the essence of an advert if you cannot see the product? That's what inspired me to use my son's projector toy to act as a spotlight for the product. Brilliant, right? You see, when it comes to shooting, sometimes you can just look around you and trust me, you will get the best out of what you have. You know, I know we have a lot of fancy equipment, which are good, but to be honest, you can look around you and trust me, even the natural light that comes from your window can be a very good source of light. At this point, I was okay to start shooting, but in the process, I thought it would be nice to have some smoke in the atmosphere, because in the first place, I already planned to attach or composite some mist in the atmosphere, or should I say in the environment of the product, because the final look will have some mist around it. That is why I burnt some paper and hid them behind the product. Then it was time to shoot, and rather than using the default camera application that comes with my phone, I rather chose to use the Blackmagic Camera App. And I'll tell you why. Because it gives my phone the functionality of a professional camera. I know that most phones also give you manual control, but it's not as manual as I think, because you still have to use your fingers to probably lock in to some exposures and stuff. But with this app, it gives you the feel of like as if you are handling a professional camera. Like I can just dial in my ISO, I can dial in my f-stop, expose manually with the right numbers and stuff, unlike me just looking for how to just expose with my eyes. Normally, your phone's camera trainer wants to expose automatically for you, but that's not the way film works. You should have total control of your setting so that you wouldn't be having constant inconsistent pictures in your videos. The Blackmagic app makes you achieve the possibility of shooting manually by adjusting settings like the ISO, shutter speed, f-stop, white balance, and exposure, just as a professional camera, and it makes you have consistent pictures across board. So I manually adjusted my settings and made sure I shot in 4K Apple ProRes, because the iPhone 13 Pro Max has that feature. So the Apple ProRes is an industry standard codec with high color depth and quality. But one thing I would like to point out is that when you shoot with the Blackmagic Camera App, with these settings, you have to make sure you have enough space on your phone because this format consumes a lot of space. Just a 16-second recording took over 1 gig space from my phone. So you have to make sure that if you're going to be shooting with this, you have to have enough space on your phone. So if I'm going to be shooting, I should have at least 100 gig space on my phone. And this is me not capping. So when you're going to be shooting with this codec, know the shots that you want so that you don't end up overshooting and filling up your phone space. But in the next video, I'm going to be going deep on how to shoot with the Blackmagic Camera App. So the moment I pressed the record button, I effected the water ripple by tapping the water surface with my finger, and I was super impressed with the outcome. Because I already knew what I wanted from the onset, I only recorded 4 amazing shots, although with several takes. So once I had all my shots, I brought them all into After Effects, and this is where the magic happened. I first cut the visuals to the sound I got from envato.com. Also from Envato, I got the growing stems and flowers with Alpha Channel. And then I brought them into After Effects and camera tracked them to the stems to give the illusion of flowers growing from something that seems to be dead. Also from Envato, I got this gold dust to give the sense of good sense in the atmosphere. I applied it to the scenes by changing the blending mode to screen. I maxed and feathered the edges and it blended so well. Then I added this mist into the final scenes and it just made everything look beautiful. It complemented the smoke I had added in the production process, and I was glad with the final outcome. And with just a few color grading, here is what the video looks like. Now, tell me who would think this was shot with a mobile phone. I made sure I shot this with cheap, easy to access equipment so that you guys watching will know how to start with what you have rather than you waiting till when you have the funds to buy this fancy and expensive equipment. And that brings us to the end of this video. I enjoyed every single process and I hope you guys enjoyed every process that went into this video. I'm glad I made this and it will give me so much joy to find you guys doing something even way better and me even learning from you guys in the long run. Thank you for watching. I would like if you guys support this channel by liking, turning on notifications, and most importantly, subscribing for my future content. Until I see you on the next one, bye for now. Peace.